Loyalty doesn't always leave quietly. Sometimes it stands right in front of you, smiling, speaking softly, saying everything you want to hear, while hiding everything you never wanted to know. When a woman decides to betray, she doesn't start with distance. She starts with disguise. She learns how to look faithful while living a double life. And the most painful part is that her performance feels real. You believe her not because you're naive, but because her lies are wrapped in love's language. There are 3 moments when men are most certain of a woman's loyalty, and those are often the exact moments she's lying the most. Once you understand them, you'll see that betrayal doesn't begin with absence. It begins with overcompensation. The first time you thought she was loyal was when she started acting more loving after a period of distance. You felt it. The coldness that had been building for weeks suddenly melted away. She became affectionate again, texting more, touching more, laughing at your jokes, saying she missed you. You thought she'd realized your value again. You thought the storm had passed. But that warmth wasn't a return of love. It was the return of guilt. When a woman betrays, guilt doesn't disappear. It disguises itself as affection. She starts giving more attention to you because she's trying to balance what she's done. It's not connection. It's compensation. Dr. Alina Rose explains that guilt needs equilibrium. She knows she's lying, and to keep her world from collapsing, she pours extra energy into the relationship she's betraying. You might think she's finally becoming the woman you hoped for, but in reality, she's managing her guilt through performance. She touches you more, not because she's drawn closer, but because she's trying to feel less dirty. Every kiss feels warmer. Every hug feels tighter. But beneath it all, there's an emptiness she's desperately trying to silence. And the cruel part is, you feel loved again, just when love has already left the room. The second time you thought she was loyal was when she accused you of not trusting her. The argument came out of nowhere. You might have asked an innocent question, maybe about where she'd been, who she was with, or why her tone felt different. Instead of answering calmly, she got defensive. She turned it around. Suddenly, you were the one being judged. For doubting her, for being controlling, for making her feel suffocated. You walked away feeling guilty for asking the very question she didn't want to answer. That's not miscommunication. That's manipulation. A woman who's loyal welcomes questions because she has nothing to hide. But a woman who's lying uses emotion to create confusion. Dr. Alina Rose calls this guilt inversion. She takes your suspicion, wraps it in shame, and hands it back to you. And because you love her, you accept it. You start doubting your own intuition. She'll cry, look you in the eyes, and say, "I can't believe you'd think that about me." And those tears, those soft words, they disarm you. But those aren't tears of pain. They're tears of fear. The fear that you're getting too close to the truth. Her emotional reaction isn't a response to your words. It's a defense against exposure. When she accuses you of not trusting her, it's because she no longer deserves your trust. And deep down, she knows it. But instead of confessing, she manipulates your empathy. You stop asking questions. You stop noticing inconsistencies. That's how she wins. Not by lying once, but by teaching you to stop seeking the truth. The third time you thought she was loyal was when she told you she needed space to find herself. You believed it because it sounded deep, mature, even spiritual. You thought maybe she was just overwhelmed. Maybe she needed clarity. Maybe you had been too demanding. But what she really needed was distance to manage her double life. Finding herself was never about self-discovery. It was about freedom from accountability. Dr. Alina Rose explains that when a woman begins saying she needs space, it's often because her emotional loyalty has already shifted elsewhere. The other man is already in the picture, whether emotionally or physically. She's not trying to find herself. She's trying to find balance between two worlds. That's why she speaks in vague, poetic language. She says she's confused, that she loves you but isn't happy. These are not reflections, they're rehearsals. Every line she says has been practiced in her mind, designed to sound thoughtful rather than dishonest. She'll say she needs time, but she already knows where that time will be spent. She'll say she's trying to figure out what she wants, but her heart has already chosen. And while you sit there, respecting her need for space, she's filling that space with someone else's attention. That's the cold reality. When a woman starts talking about needing time, it's rarely about reflection. It's about replacement. Dr. Alina Rose teaches that the most dangerous lies are not the ones told with words. They're the ones told with emotion. When she loves more suddenly, defends herself too strongly, or asks for distance too gently, those are not signs of depth. They're signs of deception. The faithful woman doesn't need to perform loyalty. Her peace speaks for her. Her calmness is her truth. But the guilty woman lives in duality. Every act of love becomes both real and false at once. She's kind because she's guilty. She's emotional because she's scared. She's distant because she's already gone. And yet, here's the hardest part. You believed her because she wanted you to. Not because you were blind, but because she built her lie around your faith. You saw her through your love, not through her actions. You believed the version of her that matched your heart, not the version her behavior was trying to show you. That's how lies survive, not by being perfect, but by being emotional. When she hugs you tighter after weeks of silence, when she cries after being questioned, when she asks for space with calm sincerity, those are the 3 moments most men mistake for loyalty. But they're not loyalty. They're camouflage. They're guilt wrapped in tenderness. And by the time you see through it, the truth will already be too deep to unhear. Dr. Alina Rose reminds every man that awareness isn't paranoia, it's protection. Love doesn't mean blindness. You can love her and still see her clearly. You can trust her and still listen to your intuition. Because the woman who's loyal won't make you question your sanity. She won't make you doubt your peace. And if you have to keep convincing yourself she's faithful, it's because your spirit already knows she's not. The truth is simple. A loyal woman never has to act loyal. It's visible in her calm, her consistency, her peace. But when she starts performing loyalty, when it feels exaggerated, reactive, or timed, it's no longer love. It's theater. And eventually, every performance ends. When that day comes, when her words lose their warmth and her eyes lose their honesty, you'll finally understand what loyalty should have felt like all along. Quiet, effortless, and real. Because love doesn't need to prove itself. Only lies do.